Hey folks, Jackdaw here. Dragon Dogma 2 storyline is a time loop trip of twists, revelations, and false endings just like the original. And so today I'm going to break down the true ending of DD2 and its alternative paths, delving into a full explanation of this game's cycle's end, key distinctions from the first game's original ending, and so much more. And so of course, spoilers abound as we dissect the true ending of Dragon's Dogma 2. So we're going to start with a brief overview of DD2's main plot, which is just necessary to set up and explain all the endings. So, jumping straight in, Dragon's Dogma 2 begins with the Arisen, of course, waking up in a strange jail cell with no memory of who they are. They are guided by a spectral figure called the Pathfinder, who reveals their identity as the true Arisen and then proceeds to help them escape. The Arisen arrives in the human kingdom of the Mund, where they create their main pawn and then head to Melve, a village that was recently attacked by the dragon, as of which their memory returns upon meeting Ulrika in Melve, as they recall being chosen by the dragon to confront it and save the world, marking them as Arisen. And so, to confirm their claim to the throne as the true Arisen, they decide to journey to the human capital city of Vernworth. However, they find a false Arisen has usurped the throne, all by the puppet strings of Queen Disa. And this false Arisen manipulates pawns using a mysterious artifact called the God's Way. And so, teaming up with Captain Brant, the Arisen attempts to expose this imposter at their coronation, but fails due to the God's Way's interference with their main pawns. And so, heading to Batal, the Arisen meets many past Arisens, the Dragon Forged and the Oracle, and they investigate the God's Way and Lord Thesis. Exploring the seafloor shrine, the Arisen encounters Rothe, the mad sovereign who explains that the God's Way harnesses past Arisen souls. He then gives the Arisen the dulled Godbane blade made from his own soul. And so, guided by the spirit of King Rothe, the Arisen learns about the Pathfinder, described as a watcher or ruler of the world. They then empower the dulled Godbane blade with crystallized dragon blood and pursue Lord Thesis through the Aegaman volcanic islands, leading to the standard ending of Dragon's Dogma 2 in the Legacy quest. The Arisen, of course, faces their destiny by confronting the dragon, as Lord Thesis flees from Talos, a gigantus emerging from the brine. The pursuit of Thesis leads the Arisen to Moon Glint Tower, where Thesis aims to control the dragon and break the cycle of Arisen. However, Thesis' plan fails and the dragon presents the Arisen with a choice. Either battle the dragon to prevent the apocalypse, or sacrifice your beloved and walk away unharmed. Of course, the NPC held by the dragon is determined by DD2's affinity system based on quests and gift giving. I of course had Ulrika. And so this opens up the choice of two endings. The standard ending, approaching and attacking the dragon while accepting the dragon's terms and sacrificing your beloved, triggers the bad ending. And so choosing to walk away from the dragon and letting your beloved friend behind leads to a somber atmosphere in the throne room as the Arisen then becomes sovereign. And this ending is of course the quickest route to skipping the final battle entirely, and it is exactly the same as in the original game, where the Arisen walked away from the battle and became the new Grand Duke of Grand Sorin. Now, loading up your save and confronting the dragon involves the Arisen climbing onto its back, followed by an extended sequence where the dragon delivers this huge monologue on its way to the final arena. Once you reach the ground in this volcanic final battleground, you defeat the dragon, leading to the intended standard ending, where we have the Arisen crowned sovereign of Vermund in a joyous celebration at Vernworth Castle. While thwarting Lord Thesis' plan and defeating the false Arisen are significant achievements, the standard ending essentially maintains the world status quo. The Arisen fulfills their destiny, saves the realms from destruction, and claims their rightful throne. However, the cycle, of course, may continue, with the dragon designating a new Arisen in the future. And so with that, players have the option to load their save to explore the true ending of Dragon's Dogma 2. And this occurs when, after the standard ending, players get the chance to control the Arisen for a hot second during the coronation celebration. And this is where you access the true ending by speaking to the Pathfinder. He will then muse about the Arisen's potential dissatisfaction with fulfilling their destiny destiny and sends them back to the moment where they decided to fight the dragon as they are riding it across the Egemen volcanic islands. And so, to initiate this final true ending, the Arisen descends towards the dragon's heart mid-flight and uses the empowered Godsbane blade to pierce their own missing heart, opening the dragon's chest. Both plunge into the sea and also the brine, and the Arisen wakes up roughly a month later. Their main pawn is missing, and the world is now in an apocalyptic state with receded oceans and a red sky, called the Unmoored World. And in this post-ending chapter, the Arisen travels across Vermund, Batal, and the Egemen volcanic islands, organising evacuations, retrieving their pawn, and combating summoned creatures from red clouds. After achieving all the above, a beacon summons the Arisen back to the seafloor shrine, where the dragon then reappears. And in this cutscene, the Arisen's main pawn transforms into a black, viscous drake with glowing red eyes. And this final playable section has the Arisen crawling along the dragon's back and wings while credits roll. The pawn returns, flies into the dragon's eye, and sends it plummeting belly up. The Arisen then dives into the dragon's chest wound, plunging the empowered Godsbane blade into its heart, and the voice of the Pathfinder can be heard, representing the Great Will. It regrets not witnessing the birth of the Arisen's new world. And in the sequence before, the Pathfinder actually revealed that countless worlds face obliteration, saved only by the creation of the dragon, tasked with starving off oblivion. The Arisen, created to hunt and slay the dragon, ensures the perpetuation of the cycle, granting purpose to the world and safeguarding it from being consumed by oblivion. However, when the Arisen wields the empowered Godsbane blade against the dragon's heart, it breaks the world free from the recurring cycle of the dragon and the Arisen. This act restored the world to its original state before the calamity struck, evident by the clear skies and the return of the ocean, contrary to what the Pathfinder said of the cycle's oblivion. The closing sequence as a whole emphasizes the themes of free will. Previously bound by the Great Will, which mandated the Arisen's continuous battle with the dragon to then prevent world-ending disasters, the main pawn's final words reflect a newfound sense of individual agency, breaking free from predetermined destinies. Additionally, the post-ending scene depicts a significant shift as the old fisherman from Harv village sails away from Vermund, something previously impossible due to the brine's threat. Now, however, he's free to sail wherever he likes. And so, under the control of this enigmatic Great Will, which we attribute to the Pathfinder thanks to the Mad Sovereign King Rothe, Vermund's inhabitants were effectively imprisoned, compelled to endure the perpetual cycle dictated by the dragon. This is amplified even further as the Pathfinder described that every character had a designated role to play within the cycle, with the Arisen and the dragon fated to perpetuate it. The pawns, who existed solely to support the Arisen, would fade into oblivion without the cycle. Gigantus, who served the brine, oversaw the dragon to prevent any excessive actions it would take, most assuredly influenced by the Great Will. It makes you wonder why Gigantus was on its way to kill the dragon. Perhaps the Great Will could tell that the dragon would urge the Arisen to break the cycle using the Godsbane blade, hence sending Gigantus to kill the dragon to restart the cycle itself. And Rothe, the Mad Sovereign King, becomes a casualty of the Great Will, driven to madness after realizing the illusory nature of the world orchestrated by this watching entity. With the cycle shattered, the world is liberated from the dragon's grasp, marking the end of the overarching dogma. Now, I must say, in the first game, the ending left us hanging about the consequences of breaking the cycle, but in the sequel, we see that the Arisen and their pawn are honoured for their sacrifice and the world is renewed. In fact, Dragon's Dogma 1 revolves around an endless chain rather than a cycle. A dragon starts the chain, creating Arisen who must defeat it to become the next Seneschal, the world's godlike overseer who uses their own life essence to sustain the world. Eventually, a weary seneschal creates a new dragon to start the chain anew. However, our Arisen broke that cycle by becoming the new seneschal, then using the God's Bane to end their life, thus breaking the chain. Whereas Dragon's Dogma 2 brings a happier ending by breaking the cycle and witnessing a clean slate world. But the mechanics of this cycle are much less clear than the original. The Arisen follows the Pathfinder's guidance, defeats the dragon, and becomes the sovereign, continuing this cycle. The Pathfinder explained that the Great Will got tired of witnessing worlds unaccountably created, only to be snuffed out like candles by the cold breath of oblivion. So it overturned oblivion into the role of the dragon, and by the Great Will, the dragon creates a cycle, allowing it to foretell the end of this world time and time again. And this world has been safeguarded by the dragon all along. The Arisen is selected by the Great Will to play the role of the dragon's counterpart. This is how the world is built. The dragon serves to continue the cycle, and the Arisen exists to oppose it. Order versus chaos, basically. So this cycle does have an answer and a reason, but it's not clearly defined and as good as the original game's conclusion, in my opinion. Especially when literally our Arisen in DD1 became the new god themselves. Regardless, we got a happy enough ending in DD2. And so, with Dragon's Dogma 2's world seemingly at peace, what about the future of the franchise? Well, DD3 might explore a parallel world just as DD2 did, instead of revisiting Grancis from the original game. Of course, the Pathfinder also mentioned other worlds doomed by Arisen's failures or refusals. With the entire existence of other parallel worlds and paradoxes, it is very much unclear what lies beyond. But with DD2's ending wrapping up the storyline, a sequel likely will not revisit the same world. However, there's definitely still potential for the series to continue in a brand new setting, and we also do know that a DLC called The Dragon Princess is set to launch later this year. I will explore more on this in a follow-up video, but of course only time will tell what sort of impact this add-on has to the story/ending of Dragon's Dogma 2. In any case, that has been your full dissection of DD2's ending. Let me know all of your thoughts on it down below. What did you think? How does it compare to the original for you? You're already in the right place for the latest on Dragon's Dogma 2. But until the next one, I of course have been Jackdaw, and I should go. Whoa, 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 whoa.